let me talk about who's the real Dajjal, right? Because when this thing now started, remember they was using TikTok to manipulate me first, right? Because I was on TikTok. I thought that this thing come up on TikTok, so go asking Allah to deal with that situation. That this thing come up on TikTok. Remember in one of my past videos just yesterday, a couple days ago, I was like, hey, Islam is the Dajjal, right? Well, that was a channel message, right? Because that was one of something that they throw in my face too, right? They tell me, right, via TikTok, right, that a group or whatever it was, a message pop up, wherever it is that they try to manipulate, right? And through my news feed, and there was like, Islam is a Dajjal, right? Because they know that I come to teach Islam, right? And they know, right, that they want to tell you, well, that as the Dajjal, right? They want to tell you, well, that that's on the agenda because somebody else supposed to come after me, right? But I cut in that, right? And nobody coming else after me, right? So they wanted to make me into the Dajjal, right? So here, they wanted me to be LGBTQ, right? They wanted me to love off on a girl, right? And go and be like a mad girl in Nicholas Tower, right? Run down girl in Nicholas Tower, right? So one, they wanted me to be a Dajjal person, right? Homosexual, LGBTQ, right? They wanted me to, as either that, they wanted me to travel to India and go and be amongst the Hare Krishnas, right? Because have Krishna, worshiping Krishna, that is satanic, right? You can't even have Krishna worshiping Jesus, that is satanic, and nobody died for my sins, right? All them thing is satanic thing. So when as you really know, so when I am the real deal now, so when I is the real deal now, and the sea as the real deal now, and they can't dajal me, right? They cannot dajal me, right? Christianity cannot dajal me, right? Christianity is the dajal. Christianity is the religion of the dajal. Christianity is the dajal. Islam is not the dajal, right? Christianity is the dajal because it's centered on worshiping Baal, right? You're worshiping a dead person on a cross. You are the dajal. You're maintaining a structure, right? That forcing people to worship and continuously. And British colonialism happened, right? They forced millions, billions of people in the past to worship a Baal, right? Which is the devil, right? Worshipping of a human being is devil worship, right? You come again in 2026, 2025 for your agenda, 2024, forcing me again to bow to Baal, which is the Christ, which is the devil, which is Satan, right? And then you come and all that. This is how it is invert reality and whop up on the head. And nobody died for my sins. Nobody could die for your sins. Right? That is against spiritual law. That is against religious law. Right? It cannot have somebody who died for his sins. Right? Somebody dying for his sins is against the very law that run in our reality. Right? And people don't die for people's sins. Right? Anybody telling you that somebody had to die for his sins, they operating against the law of reality, the law of actual reality that run in the universe, right? And I'm not talking about running the earth, I talk about running the universe, the universal law, right? Somebody telling you that somebody died for his sins is a lie, right? Is a lie, is a religious lie, is Baal worship, is devil worship, is satanic worship, right? Christianity is the Dajjal, right? This is what all they do get, right? Christianity, the Christian path, right? Unless all they praying to go directly and eliminating of celebrating somebody dying for their sins, then you are the Dajjal, right? Once you celebrating somebody dying for their sins, your religion is the Dajjal. You are the Dajjal, right? I am not no Dajjal, right? I don't worship that. Right? I don't worship somebody dying for my sins. I don't celebrate somebody dying for my sins. Right? So if you are along that line of worship, you are worshiping the devil. Right? You are worshiping the devil once you subscribe to that line of worship and celebrating that. Right? Because I know me, right? Feasting on the blood and drinking on the wine and nobody dead. Right? Let me repeat that. I know me, right? Feasting on the blood or drinking, feasting on the blood and eating up the body of anybody who dead. Right? Am me doing that? Am me promoting that shit? Right? Because I am not the anti. I am not. Hey, the Christ is the antichrist. This is what they don't get. Right? And nobody died for my sins. There's a point that so much of us trying to make for the longest while. Hey, or they go call it the Dajjal party now, but where's the Dajjal party? Right here, what? Hey, the Christ is the Antichrist. That is what they don't get yet, right? The Christ figure is the Antichrist because Christ never tell nobody to worship He, right? Listen to what I'm saying. Christ never tell nobody to worship He, right? So therefore, the Christ is the flipping Antichrist, and that is what they yet to understand. And nobody died for my sins.